Good morning, YouTubers, subscribers, and friends and the like. It's Grant coming at you from Fort Stockton, Texas. This will be part 2 of the video I just made yesterday because apparently I have more content to share. This is the McDonald's at Fort Stockton on the west side of Fort Stockton. I pulled in and filled the truck up and cleaned the window off, as you can see from last night. At the Love's on the east side of Fort Stockton. But the reason I'm making the video today is because how I got woke up this morning. I was sleeping on that bench seat right there. Feel a wiggle around on my truck, movement on my truck. And I look in the side mirror, and while you're laying down there and you have your head right there, you can, in that little mirror, you can see the whole picture of back there without having to get up. And I saw a taller kid at the back corner. He was like making a TikTok video or something. Getting ready to, had the phone out with both hands, and while the other kid was helping the smallest kid get up on the on the frame of the truck. Oh, where's my finger? Follow my finger, there we go. Right there, getting up on the rim, and I think the bet was to see if his weight would break the board or not, or something, I don't know, but they were headed toward the board. And I found out recently that I can just barely grab the air horn right there with my toe as I'm still laying on the bench seat, so that's what I did sideways while watching the show at that little mirror, figuring nothing big is gonna happen. They'll just jump off and run away, all classic kids type of deal. They're like 7 or 8 years old. Didn't figure there'd be nothing come of it, but I scared the guy, the littlest guy, and he fell off of it. He missed the metal frame, the truck frame with his head, but he hit the board, and then he hit the pavement below, and I think he hit the pavement, I'm not sure, because he went between the tire and the mud flap, but I'm guessing his head hit the pavement, I'm not positive. The way he got up, holding his head and half crying and everything, I figured, yeah, he must have hit his head, he either hit it on the board or hit it on the pavement pretty good, and I know he hit the board. Anyway, I can jump out of the truck because they start walking away with the dude all messed up, and you could just tell they're going to try and get away with it. And I stopped them and I said, you got to call your parents or 911 or something, because the kid could have a concussion from you guys messing around. And of course they didn't want to, because that will get them in trouble. So I had to call 911. The meat wagon came out to check him out and check it, make sure he supposedly didn't have a concussion or not. They don't know if he did or not. But from what they could see for the eyes or whatever, looking at his eyes and whatnot, they didn't think he had a concussion, but just in case, they're going to watch it. But anyway, the meat wagon came out, and the sheriffs came out, and then the sheriff's deputies, I should say, and then the parents eventually showed up. The coddling mother, your typical mother thing, every mother in the world does the same thing. She's all trying to get me for assault charge or something because of what I did with the blaring the horn, and I told the cop I have every right in the world to protect my rig. Since when has it become a normal thing to, vandalize or destroy other people's property? When did that become okay to touch other people's stuff? And so the cop calmed her down and she left. And I thought that was going to be it, but then like 15, 20 minutes later, when I was trying to take a nap again because it wasn't quite time for me to get up, then the cowboy, which I'm taking, must have been the dad or the uncle or something, I don't know. But, your classic ranch truck showed up with the livestock trailer behind it. And I thought he just wanted me to move. I thought this was a different thing. He come up to the window, and so I cracked the window down enough here to have my head out. I had to move the decal and put my head, so I could put my head out the door, but I didn't open the door or nothing. And figuring he was wanting me to move, making his hand motions like, move, like he wants me to move out of the way because more stock trailers are showing up for the county fair stuff or whatever. Because like over here was the county fair park thingy, and then over here was the county ag extension office. Anyway, he comes up to the window and he basically says he knows what he's part of the deal that happened this morning, and then I should really move on, man. And then first he asked me if I'm from there or not. You don't look like you're from here. Are you from here? I said no, and well, you should really move on. Just his attitude of something's gonna happen if you don't move on type of thing. And I'm like, the guy was pretty big, so I didn't want to take him on, and it's not my place to take him on anyway, but I decided to be kind of an a-hole because he was being an a-hole to me. So I said, what did you say again? I couldn't hear you. And so as he was trying to repeat, you should really move on or whatever, I was blaring the horn, going, what? I can't hear you. What? Bang, bang. What? Can't hear you. What? I'd blare the horn for you here, but you know, I don't want to piss everybody else off and their dog. But anyway, I successfully pissed that guy off. He called the cops, which I knew he was going to do because he stormed off over to his ranching truck and his livestock trailer and just stood there. So, and then pretty soon that phone come up to his head and I'm like, yeah, he's calling that popo. Sure enough, the same sheriff's deputy shows up and they have this long discussion. It's an old guy. And then he drives off all mad, and the sheriff's deputy came up there, and I said, I'm going to believe as soon as I just wanted to educate the guy that I'm parked there on public property and there's nothing he can do about it. He can threaten me all he wants, and he threatened me. I told him, but I don't want to press charges or nothing. It is what it is. His kids or nephews or who knows what they are, some kind of relation. You could tell it was Ray's relation. They both had like light blonde hair. You could tell they're related to the kids some way or another, and you could tell the tall kid that was on the TikTok video, like standing back behind the rig trying to get it all on video, he was the older brother or older cousin or something. And then of course the youngest kid there also had light blonde hair. He was the one trying to get up on the board. He was the younger brother or the younger cousin or something. And then of course the other kid is not related to him, had like brown hair and whatnot. So it's just the buddy or the next door neighbor or whatever. But they're just being classic kids, you know. I bet you can get up on that board and not break it or whatever, or jump up and down and not break it or whatever, you know. Just messing with people's property. Pretty sure that's what that deal was. Classic. And when I was a kid, I was the younger brother, and my older brother would do that to me all the time. He'd bet me I couldn't go across the rafters in the attic in our shop because we were bored and I fell through. He bet me that I couldn't go ride a horse underneath the clothesline, which I don't know why I went along with that. The horse took 2 of the clotheslines out, and then he got tired of that, and I had to take the other one out with my neck, pretty much. It's like, thank you, Squirrel. Squirrel was the name of the horse, and he saved my life, I think, taking 2 of them, but he's on the 3rd one. He's like, I can't do this no more. He was trying to help stop by putting his head up in the way, and anyway, and my older brother was leading me through the clothesline and stuff like that, and you know, stupid stuff you do as a kid. And this was kind of the same deal this morning. They were just egging him on to get up there and see what you can do. But I got everybody else and their dog showing up now, so I just thought I'd show you or tell you about the story of what happened this morning, and then I'm gonna go eat finally. And I'm finally here at Fort Stockton. Normally I'm here the night before and eating dinner here after I fuel up, and then I'm off at a exit a couple miles up to sleep overnight by myself, away from everybody. That's normally how I do it, but yesterday's shit show with the mud flaps, excuse my French, screwed all that up, and so now I'm here at noon the next day instead. So I'm just now starting what would be my 2nd day at noon instead of at breakfast time. Like and subscribe, leave comments. I'll catch you in the flip. Peace.